Yo, there's 3 things that I'm responsibly hyperfixated with: Super Monkey Ball, Jazz Fusion, and Bill Wurtz. I'm talking about the big Wurtz tonight, baby, as that's been kind of the gig here on Krispykarim. Bill Wurtz is my favorite content creator, big influence on the channel, and his history of Japan and history of the world videos are still beyond incredible. I love them to death. So to reignite an extravagant flame, when I saw that someone was hosting a History of Japan reanimated collab, I just had to hop in immediately. This was super exciting, man. Lunapogi is the person who hosted this entire thing, and I got to work on it with a bunch of really talented people. Meeting everyone and seeing their approaches and amazing craft was so cool. This was my first time participating in a project like this, and I had a lot of fun with it. I gotta thank Luna and everybody on the team for giving me the opportunity to participate and for making this type of thing actually real. Like, we actually pulled this off. Damn! So in this video, I'll be showing you guys my contributions to the project. I animated 30 seconds of the video, you'll see which part, and narrated 3.5 minutes of it. What the hell am I doing? I'll show the segments made by the others where I yapped effectively. Disclaimer for the kids, there's a little bit of strong language in this, but the original video was like that. Gotta give that 100% accuracy, bro. So you've been warned. Please check out the entire video on Lunapogi's channel. Everybody did a fantastic job, and I will be linking the whole thing at the end of this video and in the description. Other than that, enjoy, y'all.
In Dutch studies, people started to study European science from books they bought from the Dutch. We're talking geography, skeletons, physics, chemistry, astronomy, and maybe even electricity. Over time, the economic and cultural prosperity began to gradually slow down. Knock knock. It's the United States. With huge boats, with guns. Gunboats. Open the country. Stop having it be closed, said the United States. There's really nothing they could do, so they signed a contract that lets United States, Britain, and Russia visit Japan anytime they want.
In Dutch studies, people started to study European science from books they bought from the Dutch. We're talking geography, skeletons, physics, chemistry, astronomy, and maybe even electricity. Over time, the economic and cultural prosperity began to gradually slow down. Knock knock. It's the United States. With huge boats, with guns. Gunboats. Open the country. Stop having it be closed, said the United States. There's really nothing they could do, so they signed a contract that lets United States, Britain, and Russia visit Japan anytime they want.
Russia visit Japan anytime they want. Choshu and Satsuma hated this. That sucks, they said. This sucks. And with almost very little outside help, they overthrew the shogunate and somehow made the emperor again and moved him to Edo, which they renamed Eastern Capital. They made a new government, which was a lot more Western. They made a new constitution that was pretty Western, and a military that was pretty Western. And do you know what else is Western? That's right, it's conquering stuff. So what can we conquer? Korea. They conquer Korea, taking it from its previous owner, China, and then go a little bit further. And Russia rushes in out of nowhere and says, "Stop, no, you can't take that. We were gonna build a railroad through here to try to get some warm water." And Russia builds the railroad, supervised by a shit ton of soldiers. And then when the railroad was done, they downgraded to a fuck ton. Did I say downgrade? I meant upgrade. And Japan says, "Can you maybe chill?" And Russia says, "How about maybe you chill?" Japan is kind of scared of Russia. You'll never guess who's also kind of scared of Russia. Great Britain. So Japan and Great Britain make an alliance together so they can be a little less scared of Russia. Feeling confident, Japan goes to war against Russia, just for a moment, and then they both get tired and stop. It's time for World War I. The world is about to have a war, because it's the 1900s and weapons are getting crazy, and all these empires are excited to try them out on each other. Meanwhile, Japan has been enjoying conquering stuff and wants more. And the next thing on their list is this part of China and lots of tiny islands. All that stuff belongs to Germany, which just had war declared on by Britain because Britain was friends with Belgium, which was being trespassed by Germany in order to get to France to kick France's ass because France was friends with Russia, who was getting ready to kick Austria's ass because Austria was getting ready to kick Serbia's ass because someone from Serbia shot the leader of Austria's ass. Or actually, he shot him in the head. And Britain is currently friends with Japan, so you know what that means. Duh. Japan should take the islands! Which they wanted to do anyway, so they called Britain on the telly to sort of let them know. And then they did it. And they also helped Britain a little here and there with some errands and stuff. Now the war is over, and congratulations, Japan! You technically fought in the war, which means you get to sit at the negotiating table with the big dudes, where they decided who owns what. And yes, Japan gets to keep all that shit they stole from Germany. You also get to join the post-war mega alliance, the League of Nations, whose mission statement is to try not to take over the world. The Great Depression is bad, and Japan's economy is now crappy. But the military is doing just fine, and it invades Manchuria. And the League of Nations is like, no, don't do that. If you're in the League of Nations, you're not supposed to take over the world. And Japan said, how about I do anyway? And Japan invaded more and more and more and more of China, and was planning to invade the entire East.
You've got mail.
It's from Germany, the new leader of Germany. He has a cool mustache and he's trying to take over the world and needs friends. This also got forwarded to Italy. They all decided to be friends because they had so much in common. It's time for World War II! Germany is invading the neighbors. Then they invade the neighbors' neighbors. Then the neighbors' neighbors' neighbors, who happen to be Britain, said, holy shit. And the United States started helping Britain because they are good friends, and started not helping Japan because they're friends and our friends are not friends. Plus they're planning on invading the entire ocean. The United States is also working on a large, very huge bomb, bigger than any other bomb, ever, just in case. And now I want to pass the mic to lunapogi. He's got a message for all of y'all.
I want to thank everybody for the collaboration, and I appreciate how everybody was doing their parts and making sure like we create good animations, good narration, good music, and all that stuff. So it was definitely a real good team effort. How I thought into this collab, it was like I realized that, you know, with Bill Wurtz, I'm a huge Bill Wurtz fan. I've been a fan of him since like almost a decade now, and I realized, hey, this History of Japan video is coming out pretty soon, or at least reaching 10 years, and I decided, you know what, let's try to formulate a collab, you know, try to like, you know, make the Bill Wurtz community active, show us how we're all creative and we're all artistic in our own ways. And it was great having some longtime Bill Wurtz fans and those who are just occasionally there just happened to stumble upon this collab. This collab, I mean, it took us like 3 months, pretty much the whole entire time we've been trying to recruit. We tried planning out. There were some times and some barriers that we had to overcome, like some of us had to drop the collab for whatever reason, especially towards the end. It was getting really crazy at the end where it was pretty much crunch time at that point. Eventually, we got our heads together, we quickly finished the animation. Again, I want to thank everybody who participated in the collab, even those who are just happened to watch the video. I'd like to thank you guys, everybody, and I want to make sure that everybody have a great evening, great day, great morning, great whatever it is, and yeah, hope you enjoy the video. Have a good day.
Yeah, I hope you found that pretty cool. Once again, link to the full thing will be provided. In the meantime, I've been working on a Mario Kart OST video that's an hour long to compensate for the drought this channel has had for quite a while. Get something juicy delivered for y'all after years of breadcrumbs. Yeah, stay tuned, I guess. Anyways, peace.
Dude, he ain't coming back for 5 years, man.
Hey! Oh, hippie, you scoundrel! You broke my setup!